Gentlemen, welcome back to another video. My name is Stryker.
My name is Luba, and today we have a special guest in our studio. His name is William, and as soon as you enjoy the feedback from Marcus, and it helped a lot of you guys to plan your trip. If you don't know which video I'm talking about, Stryker will put in description below. Guys now traveling to Europe to meet the ladies that they met from Ukraine. And Marcus is doing that at the moment, and William is also coming. And he decided to share his experience of planning his trip, communication with the lady, and maintaining the relationship on a distance. So, hello, William. Welcome to the video.
Thank you. Hello, Luba, and good day, Stryker.
So we want to start it a little bit different than we started with Marcus. We want to ask you from the very beginning a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? And just, briefly the background, and what made you decide to find your partner in Ukraine?
Yeah, glad to share. So I'm from Liverpool in England originally, but I'm both a British and an American citizen, and I live in Tampa, Florida. And I'm divorced, and I've been back in the dating pool in the US, and I've become increasingly disillusioned with the way American women in general are trending, and they are more competitive, and they want to be more like the man than the man more often than not. And so I started considering alternative opportunities. So probably like most people watching this video, I hopped on the internet and started researching. And having been to Eastern Europe before, and indeed to Asia, I started thinking about the possibilities of meeting women in those parts of the world. And I quickly honed in on Eastern Europe. And on the internet, I discovered several of the bigger dating slash tour matchmaking companies, but I also discovered a YouTube channel by this guy called Stryker.
Really?
And I started listening to Stryker's channel. This is before Heart Rocket, guys, and I started to really relate to the way he was presenting his material and his explanations. And I'm thinking, gosh, this guy's right on. So I've been following Stryker, as I said, for quite some time. And I really subscribe literally and figuratively to what he had to say. That's on the one hand. But on the other hand, I kept looking at these large dating websites with many, many pictures of all of these beautiful women. And the more of those I looked at, the more I saw that there were the same women on different sites. And I started to think, how legit is this? I'm not sure. They can't all be that beautiful. I want men of any age and just check all the boxes that I've got on my criteria. So I dug deeper on the internet, and I learned that oftentimes things are not what they seem, and that you need to be careful. Our precious resources of time and money need to be protected. So that was on the other hand. But I kept coming back to the first hand of Stryker and his channel, and I'm thinking, this guy's giving me real insight into reality. Fast forward, Heart Rocket got formed, and the thoughts and approach taken by Stryker was supplemented and added to by Luba, and I increasingly was watching the Heart Rocket videos online, and I came to the conclusion, you know, these are my guys. They're telling it like it is, the good, the bad, the ugly. And so I booked a consultation call with Stryker and Luba, and we spent an hour together discussing my situation, my scenarios, and my expectations for the future. And I thought at that point, yeah, these are my guys. And it was quite a few months later when I actually signed up and became a Heart Rocket member. Originally, my plan was to come over to Ukraine and have Luba or one of her colleagues be my wing woman. And I was going to spend a couple of weeks going around different cities with Luba to meet ladies who had already been predetermined to want to meet me. And by that, I mean, I'd wanted to meet them, and Luba had assessed that they wanted to meet me. So it was worthwhile going on the trip, because like you've probably heard Luba and Stryker say in many of their videos, it makes more sense to have things lined up prior to leaving your country. So you're not just going over to Ukraine shooting blind. So I was scheduled to go over in June. And of course, we all know what happened in February. So I kind of watched and waited to see where Luba and Stryker were going with all this. I followed their challenging journey on their videos, on their channel. And lo and behold, they ended up in Valencia and reinvented this chapter of Heart Rocket. And that's when I said, yeah, I'm ready to move forward with this in earnest.
So we we were thinking, thank you very much for such an interesting story. Like, it's really like insight and such a warm feelings. When we came to Spain, we actually was not planning to continue anything for now. We wanted to put it on hold because we didn't know, like, is it a good thing? Is it bad? How people will actually,
Can we even do it?
Yeah, can we even do that? And like what people will think. It's a Ukrainian thing, like, because no matter what Ukrainian people are doing, they always think what the neighbor will think. But we actually started getting requests from the guys, inquiries, and some application forms asking, is it possible, what is going on? And we decided to start to match, because our partners in different cities, they said that ladies are still open and nothing really much changed for them. Yes, I would say that maybe 2% of the ladies, when the guys, for example, requesting, like this lady, they say that during the war they like just in a bad mood, maybe something happened with their relatives or home, they don't want to do that. But the rest of the ladies, no matter are they in Ukraine or in Europe, like they are open to that. So we decided to place a Zoom singles party that we did before the war. And we really liked the format, and we were planning to do it more often, but because of like everything that happened, it was almost impossible. So we have a guys who was waiting for that, and we decided to invite William for this party as well. Maybe you tell a little bit, like, for the guys, what is the Zoom party for this ones who
because if it's the first time you're hearing that, so just very quickly, a Zoom party is basically a Zoom singles party that we hold basically over Zoom. We invite usually 8 to 10 guys, around about 20 ladies, roughly, where they can just interact with each other, see how they are on camera. Are they exciting? Are they boring? Are they fun? Are they smiling? Whatever it is. And it's just, I guess it's just a digital singles party,
Yeah,
that's basically all it is.
So when we did the first one, it was very challenging because Stryker was like, Luba, are you sure? Like, is it a good thing to do? Like, and then I was extremely worried, but I was confident that I'm doing right. And then the second party was a bit easier emotional, and I was trying to make it more interactive. So anyway, William, you joined the party, and what would you say about that? Like, how did you find it? And what did it give to you?
Yeah, again, happy to share. So I I followed advice from your videos, and I made sure that I didn't turn up in a raggedy t-shirt and a pair of running shorts or something like that. I made sure to have a nice shirt on and make sure I'd you know, brush my hair and look clean and tidy, so that I could make a good first impression. And so I joined the party. It started absolutely on time, and the way it looks, guys, is everybody is up on screen, so you can immediately see everybody that's there, including the ladies. And so that was interesting, because right away you could start to think, well, this one looks nice. You haven't heard anything yet. The introductions are all going on, but you can start to I guess judge is the right word. Filter perhaps is better. Filter just based on looks. And there was a nice range of ladies on the call, some younger and some older, some in between. So being an older guy myself, I was glad to see that there was a range of ages there, because I know, having listened to the Heart Rocket materials, that I need to be realistic. You know, I'm 61 years of age, and I don't need to be chasing 25-year-olds. So there were ladies there in my target age range, and I sat patiently to have the process unfold. So the process was that guys would introduce themselves for a couple of minutes, say a little bit about themselves, what they're looking for, and the ladies got to do the same. And so as you go through that process, it's interesting to hear what other guys want and don't want. It's kind of a gut check for me to hear that. But of course, more importantly, I got to see and listen to the ladies explain to us who they were, what they're looking for, what kind of person they are. And you know, that makes it very, very real, because looking at a photograph you can be suspicious, you know, with Photoshop and everything. And you know, Stryker, you've done videos on that, and I know you and Luba have done videos on that, where the photoshopped picture that you see online doesn't look anything like the lady in person. Well, with the Zoom call, there ain't no photoshopping. What you're seeing is what you're getting. And so I was very pleased to see each lady real time, no trick photography, no nothing, explain themselves and tell me who they were and what they liked and what they're looking for. So I was able to make some very realistic assessments on the fly.
Yeah, because you get Rocket Match package that is including, you know, individual matchmaking, and of course, like the guys usually do that. And so we always say that the Zoom party is only opportunity, a chance, and if it works, it's great, and if it doesn't, then we keep going. And you know, there's a lot of ladies in our database that, you know, we can still have a calls and arrange. So but do a little teaser. You met a lady there that we arrange extra call with after that, and I was there. We'll just say that I was very impressed by your presentation, you know, because you really prepare yourself for this call. You did this like green screen with the Ukrainian flag, and you prepare yourself to say something in, I don't remember, I think it was Ukrainian, right?
Right.
Yeah, so it was extremely nice because she was absolutely not ready for that. And for Ukrainians at the moment, it's a huge support. It's a huge support when people from another country, from the country that is now, I mean, involved, not involved, whatever. We're not talking about politicians, but anyway, people who live a different life, they support Ukrainians and they care about them and they do anything they can. So it was extremely nice. Me as a wing woman, as holding this chat, it was very nice start, and I really appreciate and grateful for that. So you talk to that lady, and we'll just jump a little bit further that you had a great connection with her, and we both with you decided that you will continue communication. She was also very interested. She was interested from the very first sign. She was interested from this Zoom party. You stayed in touch. So we don't usually discuss like relationship, until it's actually happening and stuff. We just want to know in general your idea, your experience, and how did you maintain the communication. So ever since this Zoom event, I don't remember, it was in April, right?
Yeah, I think maybe March, I think.
Or end of March.
Yeah, or April. Whenever it was anyway.
Okay. Are you here, William?
I am, yes.
Yeah. So you start chatting with her, and now you're planning your trip to Poland to meet with her. She's actually in Poland. She left Ukraine. So tell us a little bit about how it is going. Like how is your communication? How did you build it? What were the challenges? And I know that she doesn't speak very good English. How did you find it? Like, is it very difficult or it's actually interesting? And was there anything interesting that happened during this communication that you find very different from
or challenging,
like very different from the Western communication?
Yeah, a lot of ground to cover with all of that. So she spoke very little English, but made it clear that she wanted to learn English and get good at it.
Very determined.
Yeah, and so I was not put off by the fact that she only had limited English. What was more important to me was her attitude and the fact that she made it very clear that she was not going to let language be a barrier between us. So she was taking English lessons online, and every time I spoke to her, she'd tell me a little bit more about her English lessons and how it was coming on. And over the course of our communications, her English has got better and better and better. However, I still have Google Translate on standby, and I also purchased a handheld translator as well. And guys, just to let you know, and you probably heard in some of the Heart Rocket videos, these translators are not 100% perfect. So what we did is we made an agreement, and we did an internet handshake through the cameras. We made an agreement that if something sounds odd or weird or doesn't resonate each with the other, that we would blame the translators and we would try again, and we wouldn't bristle in frustration or anger that the other person said something that you perceived as being off kilter or odd or inappropriate. So there've been several occasions where we've been looking at each other on screen. We used the WhatsApp tool. We've looked at each other, and I can see that when I've said something in Russian, because I use the translator, that her face goes, "What? Huh? No, I don't get that." And and then we'd laugh about it and blame the translator, and I'd say, "Okay, let me try again." So we kind of use it as a point of humor when the translators let us down a bit. But I will say this: I have started to learn a few Russian phrases just to help me out.
Like a stopboard.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm not learning Russian at the pace at which she is learning English, but I know how to say yes, I agree, or I'm sorry, I don't understand, things like that, that I can throw out very quickly to give a course correction on the communication.
You know, just 1 second, I want to say here, it's funny that you said that, because in Russian and Ukrainian language, in Russian language, it's actually like in our culture, it's very like in US, a lot of guys say, just relax, it's going to be okay, just relax. And I don't know how US ladies react on that, but for Ukrainians, like if somebody tell me relax, like it actually make me like even more angry.
It's
and
true.
it's like even
I've
more.
tested this theory.
Yeah. And so me and Stryker, we come up with a phrase that when he say that, like, because like I understand that he kind of care and he want me to just relax. It doesn't matter. It's like either we arguing or I'm just stressed about something. Well, never argue, but
We are arguing.
we more like anyway. But so Stryker, what is the phrase that you come with instead of like when you want to say just relax, or just like what you're saying?
Oh, I said it would say strawberry cheesecake.
And you know, like we find this solution because like
And it's
really,
funny when we say it.
yeah,
We know it's funny, so.
and it's immediately like take away the stress, it take away like this tension. And because when he was saying, and he liked to say just relax, just and again, it can be like in just relax, you know, like in a bad way a little bit, or it's just like just relax, it's gonna be fine. And this was already like making me even more angry. So strawberry cheesecake, incredible. So go ahead, I'm happy that you also use this
Yeah.
kind of.
So we've kind of developed our own level of strawberry cheesecake. But we have this ground rule understanding that if something feels wrong or sounds off kilter, don't bristle, ask questions, ask for it to say it a different way. So we got into a routine of communicating with each other on WhatsApp fairly quickly. And we use the video function as well, so we can see each other. And I use my lunch hour time frame here in the Eastern United States, because that would be just after she has finished work in Poland. We found that to be a good time slot for us to both be able to communicate with each other easily. So we would spend half an hour, 45 minutes. At first it was every couple of days, and it quickly became every day. And we were able to take that time to learn more about each other, and learn about each other's expectations for the future. And following advice from Luba and Stryker in one of their videos, I can't remember if it was from the Heart Rocket course or one of your general videos, but I got myself a nice scented candle, and I showed the lady the candle, and I said, "This is our romance candle. This is to let you know this is not just any video call. This is a romantic date for you and me." And of course, I had my Google Translate to say that in Russian, so that she got it. And of course, it wasn't quite right, so she laughed, and then she said back to me what she thought I actually meant, and I laughed, and okay, so I lit the candle on camera so she could see, and I said, "Now this is romantic." And she laughed and said, "Yes, okay.
I agree.
My dear." That's one of the phrases I learned quickly. Maya Daragaya.
Oh, it's so nice. It's very nice.
And so it helps set the tone for all of our meetings that that it's special and it's different.
Yeah.
So we fell into this routine, but then a day came along where my work started very early. I had back-to-back online meetings, phone calls, issues going on, and I was not able to respond to a text that she sent me. I guess I should have prefaced this by saying we also text each other every day to wish each other a good day. How is your day going? I hope everything is fine. I look forward to seeing you later on the video call. And that became an important part of our communication package, so that she wanted me to wake up to a text message for her with some hearts on it and a kiss, so that she could wish me a good day. And so one day came along and I had my wake up message from her wishing me a good day with some hearts. But because I was super busy, I had to dive straight into work at my desk, Zoom calls, client issues, work challenges, blah, 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 blah. I was not able to respond to her good day message in a timely manner. And so, whereas in the West, a Western woman wouldn't think too much about this because 4 hours went by, 5 hours went by. Apparently, for this lady and her culture, me not replying was an issue for her.
Did the Interpol and police came to try to find you because she was so worried?
Exactly, almost. So when we got on our video chat at about 1 o'clock in my afternoon, 7 o'clock for her, I could tell right away she was angry, upset, and something was going on. So I said, hey, how was your day? One word answers, fine. Me, is everything okay? Her, yes. And she's not looking at me directly in the camera. She's a bit fidgety. I could tell there was a shift in the body language. Oh boy, could I tell. And I said, so, my dear, what is wrong? Something is different. And she's just said, no, I not tell you. And I said, well, it's usually okay if you don't want to share, that's fine. But I know something is wrong, and I'm just going to carry on with our conversation as usual. If you would like to tell me, please do so. I would like to know. Maybe I tell you later. And it was a very, very cool call, not the same as our normal romantically emotional call. I don't say emotional in terms of drama. I mean it in terms of romance and unifying conversation. This was cold and distant. So
but it's good that you passed this test, right? You both was able to overcome that difficulty.
And I'll just say this here, it's like it's not
we did.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it's all about, even though it's over Zoom, it's a little bit difficult, you know. In real life, in person, the principles are the same. So you still have to instill these emotions. And even the fact that you brought out this candle and you said, you know, this is something special, this is between us, this is our thing, this is going to create these emotions between us. Those things are great, you know, but also Luba always describes this as the roller coaster, where there has to be a series of different emotions. There's got to be highs and lows, you know, obviously you don't want too many lows, but also the fact that, you know, you had some issue, which creates a low, because you're always on a high and it gets monotonous, you know, it just becomes everyday part of life. There has to be something to compare it to with. And that there, the emotions that she was having, she probably didn't, if you were ask her, she'd say, I don't like that. But they're necessary and part of the building their relationship, because if you can have these troughs and then come out of them, you know, through communication and her being reasonable and you being understanding and all that sort of stuff, while still obviously, you know, keeping within your own boundaries and your own masculine frame, and come out of it, she's going to respect you as well. She's going to want to continue with that relationship. So, and even though it's digital at the moment, which is crazy, you know, to even think that you can do this stuff through, you know, through WhatsApp and through video and all that, it goes to show you that you can, you know, you can at least start it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And so while all this was going on, I just want to say that I immediately went back to one or two of the Heart Rocket videos where you talk about being shit tested, and I'm thinking, am I being shit tested here? Because it felt so off kilter and different, which is why I just stayed the course and didn't shift my frame, and just went through the call, which ended earlier than our normal call would. We were done in maybe 10, 15 minutes as opposed to 45 minutes. But to your point, Stryker, I subsequently discovered what it was that was bothering her. And she said, well, normally you replied to my text and you didn't reply, and I thought something was wrong, or you might be having a bad day, or maybe even that you didn't want to talk to me anymore. And so I was concerned for you and concerned for us, which is to say she was coming from a good place. So I didn't shift my frame, and I just said to her the truth, which is I understand what you're saying, and thank you for sharing, but you need to understand that I hit the ground running with a high stress business morning where I literally was on back-to-back meetings, back-to-back calls, and I was unable to give you the time and attention that you deserve. So I need you to understand that sometimes that's how my life goes. And sometimes I'm busy, and it doesn't mean anything if I don't respond right away.
It's very good point that you explained here, that because it's something in Ukrainian mentality, I would say, because I always, before I was kind of like against this, like, oh, it's a different mentality. I couldn't quite understand what exactly people mean when they say that. But now, like every day, more and more, I see the difference. It's like a little tiny difference, different habits and different everything, like little tiny bits that are making this mentality difference actually a big thing. Because like if Ukrainian lady care, of course it's not 100%, but I think that the guys who having that is kind of lucky, I think. But like but the problem is that we're always thinking bad, like it's Ukrainian thing. And I think that after this war, people will even worse thinking bad. So recent, like when Stryker is not answering the message, or like he is like, you know, 5 hours, like that recently happened, like he just went to the beach and the phone died, like the battery died. 5 hours, no message. Like for me, it was like, that's all. He died. He like, he's not alive anymore. I don't know. Like I approximately know which beach he went. Like I need to find the rescue team, you know, and he like relaxing, like came home. And I said like, Luba, what can happen to me? Like, I'm just literally like, went like, what can happen? Like we're in a safe city. But Ukrainian ladies like are so stupid that we always think the worst, like even in the morning, like different, you know, different things. So, but we only worry about people that we care about. So in your case, like if you don't give a S word, you know, about the person, then you don't care. You're like, you're not gonna message or worry. So yes, for you it was maybe very unusual, but for you guys who are watching this, you need to understand that it's not that she's like mentally sick, or that she's like unstable, or she can't hold her emotion. She was literally worried. And of course, like if maybe she was not worried that something physically happened to you, she may think like, because she care about your relationship, she worry about that, and she thought, yeah, yeah, maybe like I said something yesterday when, you know, he maybe thinks something different and he mad at me, he doesn't want to chat. Of course, guys never do that. Like if something would be wrong, like you would talk about this. But again, like I understand her 1000%, and I even find it a little bit cute, and I think you as well.
Well, thank you. So yeah, it was just a case of different expectations on communication, and it gave us the opportunity to resolve the differentials there and better understand each other. And guess what? Ever since then, things have been great.
That is awesome. So tell a little bit about your trip. You planning to come soon to Poland. What are your plans? Did you plan your trip? Or did you discuss with her? You want to surprise her with something? Have you been in Poland before? Because I know that, especially that you are from Liverpool, like you've been in Europe quite a bit, and we're still waiting for you here in Spain. No, I definitely know that it's gonna happen soon. But anyway, like you experience traveler. What are your plans? How you planning your trip? And I know that she is staying not in a big city, so when you fly somewhere, you will have to drive, take a train. How you gonna maintain that?
Yeah, so I did plan the trip somewhat with her input, but I maintained the leadership role and said, "This is when I think I will be coming. These are my dates, and this is how I think we should spend our time together." So I actually have to take 4 flights to get to her, and she was just on the one hand sympathetic about 4 flights, but on the other hand delighted that I would go to so much effort for her.
Definitely.
So of course I explained to her that it's well worth it, and it's my pleasure to do so. So she is in a smaller town, and I made sure that I could find a range of accommodations to stay at, because she is not staying somewhere where I can immediately share with her. So I had to find my own accommodations. I use TripAdvisor. I find it to be very helpful. Check out the reviews, you get pictures. I think it's a great resource for travelers. So I started looking at TripAdvisor, and I found a place in the town center that I thought might be good. So I shared that with her, and she said, "No, no, no, you don't want that. You can find somewhere nicer." And in fact, she said, "I'd like to make a recommendation for you." So I said, "Marvelous." That was on the left hand. A small part of me on the right hand was thinking, is this a modified version of the restaurant scam that you guys have talked about so much? Now, my gut told me absolutely not. There is no way. But 1% of me thought about that. So I did some checking and testing of my own, and I was not surprised, but very pleased to learn that no, this was totally legit. She was actually looking out for me and wanted me to have a good experience.
That is very interesting and very insightful, I think, story, because it's incredible to imagine that this is happening, but this is reality. Like this is actually the reality. And I just yesterday wrote a little like a tutorial, for the ladies and for the guys, how to maintain the Zoom calls, like when they're having it. And I put there that you like somebody think, oh, just a call, but I actually mentioned that this is a real, like this is the dating in the nowadays reality. So like you need to even come like, with a little bit of a makeup, with the hair done. And I remember how this lady came to her first call with you. She was very prepared. I was like, wow, like it was the makeup and the dress. And I like that both of you, like on the same level, I think, with the preparation and input that you're doing with this relationship. So we don't know how it's gonna go, but we hope that it will be very, very enjoyable, great, and it can grow to something much bigger than this this meeting. So
well, that's right, Luba. We both go into it with that expectation, and we have discussed this to say, hey, the video calls are great, and we learn so much more about each other, and it is a date every time we're on our video chats with each other. But we also have said there's no substitute for in-person chemistry. And while we both hope for the best, we are realistic about our expectations as to what happens or what might happen when we meet in person. So I think it's important to manage expectations, be realistic, and have open dialogue.
indeed.
You know, I'll say, like, you know, as men, like, we're very practical, you know, and sometimes we may overthink things. We may, you know, for example, you know, her suggesting a different hotel and that you guys stay at. You know, we're practical. We think, hang on a second here, my little spidey senses are going off here. Something's kind of going on, you know, and those things are good. You know, those things are really good, you know, and the two of you are running the gauntlet at the moment. You're both going to be testing each other. Like, you're sort of thinking, I'll let her run through with this and I'll see what happens at the end of it. She's also testing you as well. She's also, you know, not replying to you, or, you know, becoming upset because of something to see how you're going to react as well. And you came back and you said, hey, look, I've got work. You know, it's important to me. I have work. She respects that, right? You know, if you came back and said, oh, okay, next time, you know, I'll drop everything and I'll message you straight away and I'll do, it's all about you. She's not going to respect that at all, you know? So you're both running this gauntlet. You're on a more practical side. She's on more of an emotional side, but I think it's more distantly tied to practicality. But you're both running this gauntlet together, you know, and then you're going to meet, and you're doing it digitally, which is kind of crazy. And then you're going to meet in person, and then you're going to see what's going to happen, you know. And there's no guarantees. We say this to all of our clients. Absolutely no guarantees at all what's going to happen. But everything that you've done so far, I admire. I think it's incredible. I think that the way that you've been able to establish frame around this relationship digitally, must be a new word, digital frame. A digital frame is where you put a photo in, isn't it? Yeah.
So your digital frame is perfect.
Yeah. So, but you can still establish that, you know, you're still two people talking, even though you're talking through Skype or whatever it is. You can still establish that frame in the relationship, and she's still looking for that. When you meet in person, she's looking for that frame to still be maintained, and for you, you know, to still have that, to still hold that frame. And you're also looking for her to exhibit the qualities that you've seen over, you know, the video chatting and the text messaging as well. And if those things are in place, you know, I think it's off to a pretty good start.
Yeah, absolutely, Stryker. 100% agree with you. And I want to say this for the guys listening to this or watching this. She is so incredibly supportive, even though it's across WhatsApp and texts. She's so incredibly supportive. It's much more than I'm used to receiving from Western women, and it's lovely. I like it. I can feel her concern, her genuine warmth, even through the broken English or through the text message. And of course, my hope is that continues in person. That's why I'm going over there to find out, right? But
yeah.
It feels right. And so there's absolutely no hint of any kind of scam. She's never mentioned money or asked. She's not asked for a thing from me except for my time and my support and my willingness to invest in building a relationship with her. That's all she has asked for.
And you can feel that she's looking for someone to take that leadership role, right? I should ask the question, because I can understand the answer from what you're saying. But how do you feel about that? Do you feel like that she's looking for someone to lead, or she's looking for someone to be more of a Western woman, for example?
Yeah, great question, Stryker. And I can answer it unequivocally. And the answer is this. She's absolutely looking for a a leadership position from me. And when I say that, I don't mean that I'm going to micromanage every aspect of her life. I mean that I'm making decisions. I'm making suggestions for her to agree with.
What it is, I know it's difficult to explain, but it's like there are some cornerstones of life, which include the necessities to survive: food, shelter, water. The stuff. If you took away one of these four things, you will die. Those are the things that she's looking for a man to take charge of and to lead. She will follow those things. Yeah, she may, maybe she'll do this with her nails a different color. All these like small semantic type stuff. Men don't care about that stuff, and she doesn't really care about that stuff either. But those are her luxuries. But she's looking for you to make sure that she can survive and live a good life, and that's the provisioning male, the well-provisioning man.
Yeah, and there've been a couple of examples of that are absolutely speak to what you're saying. One example is she is looking to get a visa to move to Canada instead of being in Poland. And so she's got that approval, but she needs to get her passport stamped at the Canadian embassy, which is in Warsaw, which is several hundred miles from where she is right now. So she has been told that she shouldn't rely on the Polish postal service because they are known to lose things or delay things. And she came to me and said, I need to consult with you. What should I do? Should I trust the Polish postal service, or I'm worried about getting my visa physically stamped? And do you have any thoughts on that, basically? So quick as a flash, I said, don't worry. Option one is we can use a courier service to courier your passport to the embassy and pay to get it couriered back. Or option two, when I get there, because I have rented a car, we will drive to Warsaw and we will camp out at the Canadian embassy until your passport is stamped, and then we will drive back. But don't stress, because we will make it a fun adventure.
Perfect.
We will tour Warsaw. We'll have fun on the way. We'll if we have to wait, we could get a hotel room in Warsaw to wait overnight. But bottom line was, don't worry, my dear, I've got your back. I will make it happen. So we're going to drive to Warsaw to the Canadian embassy so she can physically walk her passport in and either wait to get it stamped and pick it up in person, or supply them with a courier to send it back. So she was looking to me to take that, to give her advice on how to play it. So not only did I give the advice, but I'm taking the action steps to breathe life into the advice.
Solving problems. That's what
problems.
men do.
Yes. William, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your insights, for your information, for sharing your experience. I'm sure that it would be super useful for others. And I'm looking forward to hear all your stories and adventures when you get back home. And you know that I'm always there for you. Same as Stryker. You have my WhatsApp, and we always there for you to, answer any question, solve any problems on the background. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and as you know, there's always going to be misunderstandings. There's always going to, and the way you react to what's going on at the moment, misunderstandings, that is perfect. This is what we try to instill in so many guys, is like, don't get emotional about it. Women will get emotional about it. They always do. No matter what, you can't change it. They're going to get emotional about the smallest ridiculous things that's important to them, whatever. We as men don't get emotional about it. We just say, okay, let's talk about it. Let's work our way through it. You've already demonstrated that, and I think that definitely gets you some brownie points with her.
5 stars.
So, I will gladly circle back with you after the trip and let you know. But I'd like to leave the guys listening and watching with I'd like to leave them with a couple of thoughts, and it's this. Number one, you'd be very safe putting your trust and your money into the folks at Heart Rocket. They've proven to me time and time again that they really care and they're the real deal. Number two, it may seem like a lot of effort and energy, particularly with the way things are right now, but fellas, it's absolutely worth it. Do not hesitate. Do not let fear or anything like that stand in your way. My best advice to you fellas listening to this is go for it and go for it now. And I think more often than not, you're going to be pleasantly surprised. So don't let fear stand in your way. Run with it and listen to Luba and Stryker. For me, they're 100% on point, and I believe that they are my passport to a better future in this regard.
Well, we've never been called like that. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you in the next one.
We'll see you later.